It's Monday, and you know what that means? Heroes is on tonight. No, just kidding. Well, Heroes is on tonight, but I'm not going to talk about that. So as you might recall, a little while ago, I asked my brother to review a book for me. And the book that he chose to review was The Alchemist by Michael Scott. Last night, I finished reading the sequel to The Alchemist, The Magician by Michael Scott. And that's the book I'm going to review for you today. The Magician picks up right where The Alchemist left off. In fact, The Alchemist kind of left us in a cliffhanger. These stories are based on the premise that every myth and every legend that we've ever heard is in some way based on truth. And that there are immortal beings living among us, that there are beings that we have come to know as the Greek, Roman, Egyptian, Norse, Celtic gods and goddesses too, living out there in the world. In fact, the only two people thus far in this series who are main characters who are not in some way historical or legendary or mythological are the twins, Josh and Sophie Newman, who have basically been taken along this ride with the immortal Nicholas Flamel. And what The Magician starts to do, and what was done a little bit in The Alchemist, is we start to really see the differences between the two twins. Before you can use any sort of magical powers, you have to be awakened, which basically just means that all of your senses are sharpened really, really acutely. Then you can start to learn the magical powers, the elemental magics. Sophie was awakened, but Josh was not because of circumstances. Part of what's going on with Josh is that he's starting to get a little bit envious of his sister's powers. And so they're starting to work their way toward a split of some sort between the two twins. And one of the things I like about The Magician, and indeed what I like about all fantasy, is that with any book, with any story, your main goal is to take a look at human nature. To put a human being, a character, into some situation and seeing how they respond. And it tells us a great deal about ourselves and the people around us. And with fantasy novels, you take that a step further, because you take a human being and put them in an utterly impossible situation. It's very unlikely that anybody is going to come across the immortal Nicholas Flamel and all of these mythical creatures and all of these mythical characters and find that they have to learn magic and all this sort of thing. It's very unlikely that any of that's ever going to happen. But by seeing the way that normal human beings would respond to those impossible situations, we start to get an even deeper glimpse into human nature, because we take it beyond what is possible. The Magician is book 2 of a series. The next one out is going to be The Sorceress. I'm looking forward to when that comes out, although it'll probably be another year from now. All right, I'm out of here. Bye-bye.